my name is Brianna Wilson, and this is the learning module that I've created titled Reading Nutrition Facts. Honestly, this is for any user or learner who is motivated to lose weight, gain weight, or maintain their healthy weight where they are, all based on the importance of the nutrition facts and what we are putting in our body. So within this module, I am working to break down the labels and what's important for us to make sure we have in our diets to support whatever learning goals that we do have. It isn't done all the way, however, I do have a great portion that is done, and for me being a beginner with Storyline, I'm very excited to receive whatever feedback you guys have. As you can see, starting, I do have a click to start button, but I do have arrows throughout each and every slide so that the learners are able to easily navigate to each slide. And I will show you guys on certain slides where there's the opportunity to click off of a layer to go back to the previous information shown after the pop-ups, but we'll dive deeper once we get into that portion. To get the activity started, I definitely wanted to pick the learner's brain instead of diving right into information. So I kind of gave a pre-check question asking them if they were tired and they had to choose a quick dinner, what frozen meal would they choose that would support their health goals of building muscle. Now, with this one, I did make the answer or the response for both the same because it's based on what they choose, whether they were looking at the packaging, the appearance, or marketing, which is something that's pretty common in grocery shopping nowadays. However, this information in this activity will be used a little bit later as well, and I'll make note of that when we pass through. But again, we have our feature that is going through. We have our learning objectives. And right here is an example of what I meant with the navigation tools. So why nutrition facts matter. I did add 4 icons. Instead of just putting all the information on one slide and it looked just packed with words, they'll just click on each icon to learn of the reasons why the nutrition facts matter. And then they'll hit this back button, which will take them off of that layer and put them back on the original slide, and they'll just click through each one to learn more information. Following that, they will go into the next activity, which would be just reading more information and breaking down the actual nutrition label. Again, this is similar where you're just clicking each one and it's popping up with arrows and circles or boxes around what it is they're specifically studying at that moment so they know directly where to look. So we have that for each portion of the nutrition label. Here, I did give an activity. Throughout the slides in the learning module, I've added drag and drop, multiple choice, and also just clicking a response, similar to what I previously showed for their pre-check question. With this one, I am still having a bit of trouble with. They'll be matching the vocabulary words or the nutrients to the definition. This is a drag and drop feature. However, again, I am still new to Storyline, so I have not successfully made it to the point where it drags and drops where it should go. But again, I am working on that and it will be fixed. Then they will submit. Obviously, right now it is incorrect, but they will receive immediate feedback to let them know if they passed or if they need to go back and try it again. In my case, I would have to try it again because I haven't successfully created the drag and drop feature all of the way. And then right here, they have the same question that was mentioned in the beginning of the module. However, here, we're now going to take into consideration the protein, the calories, and the serving size before making their choice. So I did add the actual nutrition facts for each one or each meal that I put onto the screen for them to choose from. And if you were to see meal A, it'll say try again, and it'll explain why, giving them a little bit more insight to help them just go back and obviously choose the correct answer, but have reasoning as to why it is the correct answer. So meal B will be the successful one because, again, if they are looking to build muscle, they know that protein or eating a lot of protein will help with repairing and strengthening their muscles. And then we have our final assessment. They'll go in and choose their correct answers, what it may be, what it isn't. And of course, with that assessment, it would give them their results at the end. Trying to get through it. All right, and when you get here, it'll let you know of your results, allow you to review the quiz and review the answers you've put in while also seeing what the correct answers were. You can also retry the quiz as well. But of course, for it to be entertaining and engaging for the students and the learners, we didn't make anything required, so to say, to make them have to get everything correctly in order to move to the next slide. However, they do have that opportunity to retry it when they would like to. And then, of course, the end, celebrating them on their accomplishment of getting through the learning module, while also reassuring and reminding them of the learning objectives that we had at the beginning of the module. Now, I am, again, still fairly new to using Storyline. I have been having trouble with the design layout. I have a tendency of talking a lot. That's one thing that I have a problem with. And so I want to avoid adding too much information on each slide, having it be jam-packed with words rather than having the audio narration, which will be coming later, but also just making sure that I'm sticking to the plot and making sure that it's intentional and relevant in all ways. In addition to it being intentional and relevant, I want to make sure that I accomplish the learning objective, so making sure that all information in there helps to allow them to identify the parts of a nutrition facts label, compare food products, and most of all, make informed nutritional decisions. I would love feedback on the relevancy of the design. If it's easy to use, maneuver through the navigation tools working successfully, aside from the ones that I didn't mention, such as the drag and drop. And I would also love to know about the effectiveness of the activities included. Were you able to apply the knowledge onto the activity? Do you feel like you've learned from what was put in there? But most of all, making sure that it's easy to navigate, and all feedback that you all are able to give is greatly appreciated. And I look forward to hearing and seeing what you guys have for me. Thank you.